say hi to YouTube.
Hi.
This is my gnome, I mean my mum. I have just arrived in Iceland. I can't check into my hotel yet for another few hours, so I'm just going for a walk. It looks literally amazing everywhere you go. That's all you can see. It's literally incredible.
It's very cold here. Very biting on the face and the hands.
Iceland is ugly, isn't it?
It's not...
I'm not being funny, but if you come to Iceland, it stinks of farts. Why does it smell like farts?
It's a volcanic region with the thermals.
Basically, all of the water that they use here is geothermal, even in like the water that they use for showers and things. So it just smells like sulfur dioxide everywhere. And everywhere you go, it just reeks of farts. Anyway, this is my walk. This is the ugly side of the walk that the influencers don't show you, but we're just walking along looking at here, trying to find our way into the main town. So pray I don't get lost because my mum is freaking out constantly about getting lost. Go on then, mum, be the vlogger.
Hi, we're having some Icelandic fish and chips at £20.
What do you think of it? Apparently it's caught fresh.
It tastes delicious actually. It's very nice. And it's amazing because when we were walking into town, there was like...
Mum, you don't have to just speak normally, you don't have to be
When
posh.
we were walking into town, it was full of sunshine and lovely, and now it's gone cloudy and it's starting to snow, so it is true what they say about Iceland, the weather can change within seconds. Anyway, enjoy.
We don't actually know what we're going to do next. I think I'm just going to walk around the town and then see what we can see, because we still have a couple of... How long have we got, Mum? We've got another 1 hour till we can check into the hotel, but I'd rather go back a little bit later than that just to see if there's anything else we can look at around the town. Maybe we could go to that church. I'll probably see you again at the church.
Hi, we're just walking up to the church now.
Why do you got a voice?
Look at Satch's new hairstyle. He's got his pyjamas on, his Tom and Jerry pyjamas. We're standing outside the hotel vaping.
So, to say I'm exhausted... is an understatement. Today I did the Golden Circle tour. It's basically like the main tour that you do in Iceland. At first we went to the geysers, which is basically the hot water things, and they spurt up water in your face. I literally stood right over it, just as I put my camera on, and all of the water went in my face and it stinks. I say at the start of the vlog, the water here smells like rotten eggs or like farts. So it wasn't nice, but it was like a once in a lifetime thing. Then we went to the waterfalls, which was amazing. It was like Viagra Falls, but that was literally so windy. My mum's hat literally blew off her head and she had to go pick it up. I lost one of my gloves, so now I only have half a glove. And then we went to a national park, and it's supposed to be Iceland's biggest lake. If you hear noise, it's construction work going on outside, by the way. Anyway, it was so windy, it was blistering. I could not tell you how severe it was. I literally had a bit of a breakdown and I got angry. I physically could not deal with it, so I went inside and I got an ice cream. Guys, we're at the... what is it?
The waterfall.
The waterfall. The winds are fucking blistering.
I'm not joking, they are so strong, they actually flip you over and they push you along. And
I have never experienced winds that horrific in my entire life.
It was fantastic, it really was.
It was really hilarious, but I wouldn't do that again. I've literally got a headache, and I lost my glove, fell off because it was so windy, and I've got freeze burn.
Well, I lost my hat, but I managed to run over and get it. But seriously, that wind, you cannot control yourself in it. You just get thrown forward.
It was a nice view though, it was worth it.
Yeah, the waterfalls.
But you couldn't concentrate on it.
No, it was absolutely amazing, but definitely a brain freeze as well. Brilliant.
And I need to get some expensive gloves from the souvenir shop because I lost mine. So it was like ice, and it was so small and it was going in my eyes. It was horrendous. But it was a nice day. It was exciting. And then now I'm just ready to go to the Blue Lagoon, which I'm getting a coach there. I'm getting picked up in a minute. So I'm going to eat these and get ready.
The next day.
So I just realised I've literally not vlogged anything for about 2 days. It's honestly been so hectic. On my first day, which is when I first got out my camera, that was just exploring the town and just doing some random things in the town, like looking around. But then the second day, that was like the full-on day doing the Golden Circle tour, which was literally amazing. And then today we did a tour of the south coast. That was really fun. Firstly, we went to a waterfall.
Well, we couldn't go anywhere for an hour because the gales were so...
The wind was severe. The coach was literally shaking. Even like the upper window of the coach like shook open. It was that bad. The winds were like 50 miles an hour and the coach driver said we couldn't move. He said it was like banned or something for coaches to drive at that wind level because it was too dangerous. So he had to stop at this random waterfall for ages. It was nice, but you couldn't enjoy it because the wind, the snow was so small. It's like hailstones in your eyes, and it gets in your eyes and it's really painful. So you couldn't really look at anything and you couldn't get your phone out because it was raining. So I was trying to record a video, but you know when you touch your phone when it's wet and it goes funny, so you couldn't do anything. So I just sat in the coach for about an hour. I think the best bit though was just the views along the road, wasn't it? You got to see like all of the little houses in the village and they were all right underneath the snowy mountains.
And volcanoes.
And there were tons of volcanoes everywhere and like all of this lava rock all over, and it was weird because like one side of it was like full of all these humongous mountains, but then on the other side it was just completely flat and there was just no in between.
But they're flat because that's how the lava flowed.
Then we went to the black sand beach. That was really cool, but because the weather was so stormy, they didn't let you get too close to the sea because it has something called sneaking currents or sneaking waves, and that it's basically waves that are so powerful that they'll randomly just come in. Even if they look small, they might come in really powerfully really far into the shore unexpectedly and pull you out, which is really dangerous and you could die. So you couldn't actually get too close to it. I really wanted to go up further, but you just weren't allowed.
But there was a couple there who had a little child with them and took them right down. It was unbelievable.
There was people, they took their child right next to the waves, even though it was on like a red warning, the worst warning, just so they could take a selfie, which was stupid. But most people weren't stupid, to be fair. But I stayed back. But the beach itself was so lovely, and the waves, I've never seen waves that big before. It was amazing. But the reason why I really haven't just done any vlogs is because every single day has been a full-on like exhibition from like 8 a.m. Well, I've got up at 7, but we've left at like 8 a.m. every single day. Got back home really late. I haven't even had time to try Icelandic food or anything yet other than the fish and chips I showed you before. So tomorrow I'm doing an ice glacier thing. Hopefully we will not be back too late. It will be potentially up to 11 hours. We were going to do the Northern Lights tour tonight because they keep putting it off. They keep saying it's too cloudy, you can't do it, even though we've already pre-booked it. And tonight, which is basically like our last night to get it, they finally said, oh yeah, you can do it. But I checked it and it said that it's still really cloudy and the chance of seeing it is extremely low. And even if you did see something, it would be so faint, like you wouldn't even be able to pick it up with your eyes. So I think they basically just put it on as like a slight chance, because if they totally cancel it, technically they have to refund you. So they didn't actually cancel it, but they're instead taking us out in conditions, which means you're basically not going to see it. And because my mum was tired anyway, we basically decided not to go. One thing that was a little bit naughty, I'm not gonna lie, we didn't tell the tour guide that we weren't going on this trip, so they waited about they waited about 40 minutes for us to get on the coach, and then we got a call in our hotel asking where we were, and I made my mum answer it and tell them because I was too scared to do it myself. That was a bit naughty, wasn't it? That was bad, wasn't it?
I expect because we haven't gone, there'll be a spectacular show and everybody will be talking about it at breakfast.
Anyway, Icelandic sweets don't really exist like food and stuff. I tried to find some things to show you, but I think they import most of their stuff from Europe.
But what we did get, you've eaten it all.
Yeah, they do have nice ice creams.
Oh,
if you come
yes.
here, get the Icelandic brand salted caramel. You won't regret it. I did get these, which are Icelandic Haribos. They're called Skipper Mix. It tastes like salt and brine. Like, it just tastes like you're eating pure fucking salt. I'm not gonna lie, they are fucking disgusting.
I thought it left ammonia taste.
It was weird. And my mum has eaten quite a few of these. These are called Sally Soft, but again, they're salty. In Iceland, all of the sweets are like salty flavoured and licorice flavoured, and they're like extremely salty. It's absolutely disgusting. Do not come here for like sweets and foods and things. I promise, like it's not that good, to be honest.
Ice nice.
The ice cream was nice, and I had a Icelandic lamb stew. I sat in this restaurant with big open plan windows looking over at the mountains with the snow, and I had a lamb stew. That was really good, actually, because it's been so late. A lot of them haven't been open, so we've literally just gone to a pizza place 2 nights in a row. That was a bit bad as well, seeing that I am on a diet, but there was literally no other option really. Tonight I just had pesto pasta. I will show you some footage of my tour tomorrow when I go on the tour, because I won't have enough time like a lot of other vloggers do, and when they wake up and they record themselves waking up. Like, I genuinely won't have enough time trying to fit in having a vape, having a morning poo, plus fitting breakfast in all by 8:30 a.m. like it's not happening. So I'm not gonna vlog, but I will potentially vlog later on, so I will see you then. So we're on a glacier hike today. Literally looks incredible. I'll show you some footage on the screen. I don't even know if you can hear me because it's literally so noisy here from all the waterfalls. There are so many waterfalls literally everywhere. I haven't seen anything like this before, and everything's covered in ice and snow. It was just snowing earlier, but now it's stopped, so my mum's getting a vape break.
Yeah.
How's your vape?
Not as good as the waterfalls. You'd have to be here to see how spectacular it is, and the blues in the water are amazing. The energy here is wonderful. Really, can really feel the Mother Nature and the strength of the energy here. You know, it's just, can't put it into words really how wonderful it is.
It honestly, I don't even know if you can hear me, but it looks so amazing. I'll put pictures on the screen, because yesterday where we went was so nice, but because of the weather, it was so stormy, you couldn't really enjoy it. But now the weather's a lot clearer. It's still windy and I'm still cold as fuck, but it looks so nice. Anyway, we're going back to the coach and we're going on another tour. I actually don't know where we're going.
We're going into the glacier.
I don't know what that is, but we're going there, so I guess I'll see you there. Mum, why don't you tell everyone what just happened?
Well, we broke down near the top of an ice glacier in snow and gales.
And the heating stopped because the battery died.
So we've been stuck in the big snowmobile machine for about 4 hours. We didn't reach our destination into the glacier.
So now we're going back home in a big military vehicle.
On time for a wee and a poo.
And a vape.
Yeah, I think that's the most important.
I could have a real cigarette and I haven't had one for you.
And I've got a bad chest as well. Nicole, this is our last day.
Yeah, so our last ever trip went to shit.
And Touch keeps telling me off because I keep saying I wish we'd gone to the Blue Lagoon again.
So I found a restaurant. We're gonna try and go, assuming it's not too late when we get back, and try some nice food as at least one nice thing before we went. But the actual views, even though it went to shit the entire thing, the actual views from outside the military truck was amazing, wasn't it? Like it was literally like being in the clouds. Like it's just pure white. Like you cannot see anything. And the snow is like more than knee deep. It's like a metre high. And you step in it and you fall right through. I had to have a wee outside because I was bursting, and it's like a blizzard because we're like on top of a literal mountain or a glacier or whatever. I had a wee outside, and when it came out it was like evaporating in the air because it was snowy, and it just left this long trail of yellow in the white snow. But I really needed to go, so I had to get out. Anyway, I feel like shite.
We've got a 2-hour journey back down the glacier now.
I've got something on Netflix, but I don't know if my phone battery's going to last long enough, so I'll watch as much as I can. And then hopefully I'll show you what I'm eating at the restaurant. I try and have something traditional. You want to say anything else before I go?
I'm lost for words, really.
So to say today was a disaster is a little bit of an understatement. I'm not gonna lie. It just suddenly stops and there was an electrical breakdown on there and there was literally nothing we could do and we were stranded for honestly, how long? Like 5 hours. Just fucking sat there. Just sat there for about 5 hours doing nothing.
With no heat.
No heating. It was dreadful. And just before we were about to get rescued, I, along with loads of other people, were desperate for the toilet. So like loads of people went out for the toilet. All of the women were squatting at the front of the at the front of this truck and all the men went round the other side. And because it was so stormy, like the weather, my urine was literally like evaporating in the snow. It was it was ridiculous and all you could see was this trail of yellow from everybody weeing everywhere because we were just so desperate and stuck in the wilderness. But I'll tell you what, that was like the closest I think I'll ever be to like being in the wilderness, like being in Antarctica or something. Like you literally could not see a thing. You couldn't see the difference between the snow and the clouds. Like you literally couldn't see any difference. So I'm trying to see the positives. Like it was a nice experience, but it shouldn't have taken 13 fucking hours. I am trying to see if I can get a refund, obviously, because we didn't literally get the tour that we wanted. At least I got something small out of it. It was like literally an entire day wasted, but at least we got to go to a nice restaurant after. I tried some lamb because lamb is like a national delicacy in Iceland, and my mum got a salmon dish because they have quite a lot of seafood too. Then I had a chocolate cake. It was nice, but it was literally too small. I think in fancy restaurants they never do dessert well because the portions are always small, but it was nice and I needed to spend all of my Icelandic money that I just got, but now I'm just trying to pack and go. I have to be up at 6 o'clock for my flight tomorrow. I'm not looking forward to it. We didn't see the Northern Lights as well. Basically, as I told you before, we just didn't bother going because there was no chance. And to be fair, like everybody I know who's come here for the Northern Lights has left disappointed. I think one of the worst things that people do is they come to places like Iceland because they want to see the Northern Lights. Like I don't think people realise it's such a tiny chance even for local people of seeing it. You just can't go somewhere on holiday because you want to see Northern Lights. Obviously it's a nice bonus, but you should never go somewhere for that. For me, I'd say if you come to Iceland, it's definitely for like all of the geographical things. Like the town is nice, well the city I should say, but it feels like a town. It's just like there's not much there. It's not like a European inner city vibe at all. They have a lot of nice things. It's just very small and local. Like it just feels like a massive village. But all of the geographical stuff, like I cannot recommend it enough. If you come here, do all of the geographical stuff and do the Blue Lagoon as well because the Blue Lagoon was really nice. They have another one called Sky Lagoon which is similar, but I didn't get to do that because we didn't really have enough time. We were thinking of doing it tonight, but obviously that plan went to shit. I would go again 100%, but I probably want to see other parts of the country and not just stay around Reykjavik, the main city. Mum, what was your favourite part?
I think what stood out for me was the geographic. If you ever come to Iceland, really go and do the South Shore because that takes you through all the volcanoes, Katla, other volcanoes, the mountain ranges and all the black stone and the waterfalls there, and also the Black Beach was fantastic. You know, if you like watching the rough sea, it really atmospheric. So I think
Why do you always put on a posh voice when you speak on my camera?
But I think I've learnt a lot from this holiday. Exhausting, but as I said to Satch, I did have him on a bit of a march to do everything. You've got to make the most of it if it's a holiday of a lifetime.
When I get back, because I've got so much packing to do and it's so late right now and I've got to be up so early, I'm not going to show you like all of the gear, but when I get home, I'm going to show you everything. So it's actually been about 3 months since I did the Iceland trip. I honestly, when I was looking back at editing my Iceland vlog, I felt so ugly. I had about, you know, like 2 or 3 hours sleep almost every single night. My skin was awful because of the windburn. I had big eye bags. My face was puffy. I just felt so unconfident with how I looked. I know it sounds stupid. I felt so unconfident with how I looked in the vlog. I was just like, I am not uploading this. I'm not going to bother. And then recently I thought, do you know what? I don't care. Nobody's watching like the Iceland vlog because it's like some kind of thirst trap. Like I don't need to look attractive in it. I was being a bit irrational. So I'm going to show you what I wore on the trip because I think it is really important. When I went there, so many people had their trip ruined because they literally just did not wear the right stuff. Obviously you need thermal leggings. I got these from Primark. Honestly, it is so embarrassing because I feel like a girl in leggings. But they do the job. And I just got this long sleeve thin t-shirt underneath. I think this was from Primark as well. I got some thermal ski trousers as well. I actually got the ski trousers from Lidl. They were literally actually not bad quality. Like they're proper good waterproof and they were really cheap, so I just got them. They did break here, whoopsie daisy. I guess that's Lidl for you, but it wasn't like major. They still work. For my upper layer, I just got this fleece from Decathlon. It was really cheap, but it does the job. I also got this coat from Decathlon. It's like padded on the inside, but it's also waterproof on the outside, and it's got like cuff things. Also, just as I was taking it all off, I forgot to show you this, what is it, a snood. It like goes over, so it kind of looks like a balaclava. What is it? Baklava, or is that a dessert? It just helps to cover you when it's really windy, and I can't recommend getting one of these enough. This was from Decathlon. I think it cost me like £2, like it's really cheap. And make sure you get thick gloves. These are gloves that I got from Iceland actually, because I lost my other ones. But the ones I did have, they were really thick lined on the inside, like you need proper lined ones. You can't get the ones that just kind of have like a knitted mesh, like they're not gonna work. You need it to be proper, like woolly and comfortable, and like obviously you need a hat too. Also, these were my boots. I haven't actually cleaned them since I went to Iceland because I haven't been bothered. They are Timberland boots. You do need proper waterproof ones, like it is a must. You need proper boots. Normal trainers or sneakers, you cannot wear them. You need to get proper fully waterproof boots for the snow. When I went on my trip, so many people who were just in, you know, trainers, I mean sneakers, and just like a normal fluffy coat with a fluffy hood, like they were so miserable the whole time. And that's because they wore the completely wrong stuff. Guys, you need to get proper stuff. Like the weather in Iceland in winter is no joke. I am honestly so happy that I bought all of that. It's not like a normal winter's day in the UK, like it is quite bad. But when you have like the thermal leggings on, plus the ski trousers, plus a t-shirt, plus a fleece, plus a big coat, you do feel warm and completely fine. And I was fully waterproof the entire time. I never got wet once other than on my face. Obviously, my whole body was completely fine. Also, I recommend getting like hiking socks and maybe putting like on a normal thin pair of socks, but like a thicker pair of socks on top of that too, because your feet can get really, really cold in the snow, like ridiculously cold. Even with 2 pairs of socks on and fully waterproof shoes on, like my feet were freezing. So please make sure you do that too. Genuinely can't recommend Iceland enough. I am sorry for uploading this vlog late. If you enjoyed this video, you might also enjoy my Edinburgh vlog, which is here. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next one.